There was a day I went on a particular set to work as then a production assistant, and then the director came to the set. And there's one man, I have been hearing his name. I wish I can call his name now. I've been hearing his name. And then when I eventually saw this man, I got so discouraged. The way he was dressing, the way he was looking and everything. And I asked myself, wait, so this man is a big name in this industry. And this is what you want to practice. And then see the way he's looking. If a big name in the industry can look like this, that means it took him 50,000 years to look fine.
Sure, there are some persons out there which right now they are kind of a little bit of confused or even more very confused.
Yeah.
They are the edge and point of giving up.
No, don't give up now. I don't take concern me. Kidding.
What 3 key advice do you have?
Okay, 3 key advice. I will have to start generating the padlock for the key now. The first advice is this, but you are allowed to be confused. You are allowed to be scared. You are allowed, but you don't have a choice, which is allowed. It's your responsibility to be. In fact, if you are not scared for like one, you just look for one scary thing and put in your head and start feeling scared. What I'm trying to say in essence is that it will come.
Hello everyone, welcome back to today's powerful episode of DURA'S Voice podcast, where real stories fuel real growths. I'm your host, Mbasebre Florence, and on today's episode of DURA'S Voice podcast, we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, which shows us that life isn't just about succeeding. It has to do with its succeeding principles, and also it has to do with the process and the road that leads to it. And to help us unpack this very interesting topic, we have a very great man here with us. He is someone who loves telling stories through vision. He is a director with, permit me to say, not really so many years of experience, but in that very little years of experience, it's just like saying 100 years in one. And he is in the person of Mr. Allen George, aka Black Ginger. Welcome, sir.
It's all right. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. DURA'S Voice.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for honoring our invitation.
The honor is mine.
All right. In today's episode, we are talking about consistency, mentorship, and mistake. Yeah. Mr. Black Ginger, what was it for you like before the whole balancing of everything? What was it for you? What inspired you to tell your stories behind cameras, and what also made you stay put and gave you the inspiration of the directing?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here again, right? Okay, what it was like before I started this journey was confusion. Yeah. I am an embodiment of, I was an embodiment of confusion. Before I started this whole journey, I was confused. You know, when you get confused to the point that you can't differentiate between your left and right. And then at a point, there was a need to start a journey. And I think confusion is an integral part of anybody that does not have a particular kind of foundation. Yeah. So to say, there's nothing for you to inherit. There's nothing for you to enjoy as per wealth. And so Jack Ma once said that from age 1 to 25, your responsibility as a human being is just to get confused. Hence, you have to try a lot of things. I tried a lot of things. So from the confusion, at the end of the day, I started seeing a glimpse of direction, what to and what not to do. Then I started the journey. So from the confusion, I'm still confused now, actually. I'm still confused now.
You can't tell us.
But I'm seeing clarity in the confusion right now. Yeah, I'm still confused. Every other person gets confused at a point. Even the biggest man in the building, at a point, or the other must get confused. Even if you are the biggest man on earth. Because sometimes you'll be faced with some challenges that you have no option but to sit and ask yourself, what should I do right now? That is confusion. But at a point, from experience and from vision and purpose, you'll be able to say, okay, this is what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
So the confusion led me into some questions. Are you going to be confused all the days of your life? Or you make something reasonable out of your life? So the answer was, I'd rather would make something reasonable out of my life. And that got me to another level of confusion again. So anybody that's getting confused out there is normal, no worry. We all went through it. It's your turn to go through it. So from the confusion, what will I do? What will I not do? Will I be great in life? Will I be small in life? Will I remain this little? Then there comes at a point from confusion, you get to the hunger level, where you are just hungry for a good life, a better life.
Okay.
A good life, better life. Now, the inspiration why I got into this line of endeavor is still from confusion. Yes, I can't take it away because there was a point in my life. I got to a crossroad. This is one conversation I don't hold often. It's between me and my inner self.
Okay.
I got to a crossroad where it's either you just take the bull by the horn, start something with your life, and build gradually because nobody is going to give you anything out there.
Exactly.
So when it got to that point, I decided, okay, I am going to continue. Still in confusion. But somehow, no matter how confused you are, if you remain consistent in a particular line of endeavor, you are obviously going to make something out of it, no matter how bad, no matter how small, no matter how little it is. So I continued in that my confusion. And at least I'm so confused to the point that I can now attend podcasts.
So what you're trying to say in essence is right from the start, you never had this your discipline in mind, which is like the directing aspects. You never had it in mind or anything.
Directing. Okay, I will come to that later. Anyways, but this is all a journey. But from the confused state till where your confusion will lead you to the hunger state, where you ask yourself questions: what do I want to do with my life?
Okay.
Then I think after that you transit to passion.
Okay. Yeah.
Where your confusion leads you into a lot of things. I actually did not start off as a director. I don't think, as a matter of fact, the film industry was mystic to me. It was like, I was actually watching a program. I think I was primary 5 or so young. I knew I was attached to TV, but just didn't know that one day I would eventually end up here, right?
Wow.
I was seeing people, it was one behind the scene. When the director said, cut, the makeup artist came to the set, used brush and brushed somebody's face. And it was so mysterious. I was like, Jesus Christ, can I ever do this? Like, to use powder rub person for face. Can I? Because it was like, how did this person even know that he is supposed to do this thing at this point in time? You understand? That led me to the journey of, I want to see how these people do these things. I started off from somewhere, plenty long waka. And it was all a summary of what I am today, right? Putting all those things together, putting the whole confusion, the whole hunger together, formed Black Ginger. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Okay, so if you all listened to him, there was a point you made mention of consistency. So for me, I would say consistency is doing it over and over again, even when it's working, even when it's not working.
Of course.
You do it. And man, it's not a glamour. It's not, I would say it's not a beautiful thing, because there are times you wake up and you don't just feel like doing anything. You feel very tired. You feel like giving up, especially when you've made a whole lot of mistakes. Yes, you feel like giving up. So I'll ask you, what was it like for you again? Like being consistent. What was the whole consistency thing for you? Doing it over and over again, and was there any moments you felt like, oh, giving up or something like that?
Well, if there was definitely be a moment where you feel like giving up, because like I said, I did not inherit anything from anybody. There was no come and take. So it would be you discovering yourself, rediscovering yourself, deploying the entire process, right? Okay. It will be you trying to get a life or get something nice out of absolutely nothing. And if you are ignorant about certain things, you are bound to make a lot of mistakes. And there are some mistakes that will bring you to the point where you ask yourself, are you really sure you want to be here? You must. Well, let me not say must, because maybe some people would experience something different, but it came a lot of times where you'd ask yourself, especially that initial point where you are not getting anything reasonable out of it. All you do is just put out the work. No payments, no, what do they call it now? No allowance, nothing. All you hear is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you have to leave, you have to eat the next day. So it got to the point where you would ask yourself that question. That's where the confusion comes in again. Are you sure I really want to do this for the rest of my life? There was a day I went on a particular set to work as then a production assistant. And then the director came to the set. And this one man, I have been hearing his name. I wish I can call his name now. I've been hearing his name. And then when I eventually saw this man, I got so discouraged. The way he was dressing, the way he was looking and everything. And I asked myself, wait, so this man is a big name in this industry. And this is what you want to practice. And then see the way he's looking. If a big name in the industry can look like this, that means it took him 50,000 years to look fine. Then I was just judging by appearance, right? Just like, you understand? So I was just saying, if this is what I want to, this is who I want to be like, and then he's looking nothing close to my future, not knowing that he is a big man in his own accord, that I was judging based on physical, that thing traumatized me. I almost gave up. I was like, I want to be comfortable in life, and the person I want to be like is not even looking comfortable. So what is the need of trying to? But somehow, people always ask me, why did you start? Why did you continue? It's because I started out of confusion, and then I made up my mind that this is a journey.
Okay.
And foremost, I have always been concerned about changing certain narratives. I will not call myself a deep thinker because I don't know if I have a mind to even think, let alone thinking deep, right? But I have always known that there are certain narratives I want to change. There are certain things I want to tell, not just a group of people. I want to tell a large crowd of people.
That's like saying you want to tell to the world.
To the world, so to say, yeah. And then what is the easiest way I can change this narrative? I've always had inspiration at the back of my mind. I'm not an inspirational person. I'm not a motivational speaker, right? I've always had inspiration at the back of my mind. But I think the easiest way I can do that is to tell stories. The best way I can do that is to tell stories, right? Maybe not in a room, maybe on a large screen. Mm-hmm. This has always been at the back of my mind. Like I said, confusion, I always come here because there are a lot of people that are going through this right now. But just know that this is what I want to do. How do I want to do it? How will I go about getting it done? Is one answer you can never give until you discover certain things. So by the time I started seeing some glimpse of hope in it, I said, okay, this is where we are. If we suffered when there was absolutely nothing, how much more now that there is still nothing anyways? How much now that there is hope that things would come, you understand? So I've always wanted to tell stories. Not tell stories per se, like to entertain people. I always wanted to change certain narratives. In the long run, I will explain this maybe in the future. But now I don't know how to explain myself. I want to change a lot of narratives. A lot of narratives. I want to change the system. I want to make some shifts.
Okay.
Right now, a lot of people will not understand what I'm saying now. Even me, I don't understand in full. But I know that I want to make some very great shifts. I want to change a lot of things. And the best way I can do it is through story. Yes.
Okay, and there's a whole lot of narrative you want to change. Have you, are you in the process or have you changed any?
Yes, I'm in the process and I have changed a lot.
A lot.
Considering where I started and where I am today, I have changed a lot. Right now, they may not feel it. It may not be that visible. You know that the society buys to big names.
Yeah.
If you have big names, they would want to listen to you. They want to debate your case, right? But since you've not gotten to that point of being a big name, that's why I said it's the process, right? Time will come. All these foundations will be very visible. But for now, we are still planting.
All right.
We are still planting.
Okay. Okay. Now getting down to the second part of our topic, which is mentorship. You know, mentorship, it's very important.
Very.
It's very, very important because as a human or as a man, you can either fall or stand depending on mentorship.
Of course.
Yes, depending on mentorship because it's very important. So was there anyone that held you by the hand while coming up to this, your directorship?
Okay. Was there anyone? The question maybe should be, we had plenty people that held you. Okay, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, right? Mm-hmm. As per one particular person holding me down, I will not say there was no particular, I will not say there is a particular figure rather that held me. No, there are people that will say, this is my mentor. This was the person that brought me. Some people discover some people. Yeah. You understand? They just discover you. I have met people say, when I started this thing, okay, I was in my house, somebody called me, say, come and join me. And then they will walk you through the journey till you become great. Yeah. I never had that opportunity. As per somebody holding me down, say, yeah, come. let me carry you under my wings and then take you high. It was all about self-discovery. Sorry, I'm not trying to say I am self-sufficient, right?
Okay.
No, it's not. That's not the case here. But in the long run, I met a lot of people. I'm going to mention their names, right? I met a lot of people. Some of them may have even inspired me, mentored me, even without knowing that. That particular conversation we held at one point or the other is what
Was
they are saying today,
meaningful.
right? Okay, this is my journey back. After I finished secondary school, we started drama group and we were acting from one school to another. Then we started church drama, blah, 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 blah. The rest is history. So immediately after secondary school, okay, I was still in secondary school. I had a friend. His name is Michael Osondu. He calls me Gbeskele Moske. I call him Gbeskele Moske, right? The two of us would always do drama things together. Then one of our seniors, Obinna Joshua, he was the person that the very first project I did in my life, that time it was an embodiment of confusion. I didn't even know what I was doing. He just saw that this guy likes drama, he can deliver. We did a comedy project then. Second, I think SS3, SS2, yeah. So it took us to, I don't forget that my house, took us to somewhere. Long time ago, we did that. The film did not come out. It was the years of DVC,
DVD.
DVD. No, even we record with that small cassette. If you don't understand, no, I'm kidding. So they took us to the location. We acted. They would always tell us what to do and what not to do.
Okay.
So I just did what he told me to do without even knowing what I was doing. So that was the very first production experience I had. You understand? He's a barrister now in Abuja, right? Then after that, when I finished secondary school, immediately I finished secondary school, I joined the production house, AB Communications, where Mr. Ebel Okweku, they call him Emperor, is the director, right? That was the first, so to say, official production I did. I acted as a student, Bright, I will never forget. I remember the line still today. I acted as a student, JS2 student. When I was asking him, I'm done with secondary school, give me JS2 student. So I learned a lot there. Then from there, I started meeting people. I met Kestan Serin. He's one director I respect a lot. In fact, he's the first professional director I have personal encounter with. There was never a time Kestan said, they are calling me teach you. But if he's working, you have to learn a lot of things from him. Unless you are not ready.
You're not ready.
Yes, I met Kestan Serin. He taught me a lot of things in the process. As a matter of fact, my first big project, Asawana, as produced by Hida Dokubo, directed by Dagogo Demina. I was the prop man on that project. He was the person that helped me say, if Mama Hida take, this guy can do the job. Yes. And then I met in the process also Ejim Fortune, Kezi. We're actually filming. Then I was doing a lot of things. I did props, I did makeup, I did costume, I did continuity. On the set, I can multitask. And then he called me one day and said, yes, you are good at what you do, but you cannot be good. Okay, you are good at what you do, but you cannot be excellent at what you do if you don't do one thing at a time. Because that time I wanted to just mix everything together. Call me as production manager and makeup artist, one set I would do. It was like, if you want to grow in this industry, face one area. Just do one thing. People should know you for one thing. That word that day struck. And then he's one person I respect as much as practicing is concerned. I met him. Then I also met Ndi Ojo Abbas, right? Point Fendi. When I finished secondary school, you know that time, the industry now is not like what it was then. You could actually do one job in 4 years. After you do just one project, one process and set design, no more project for you for another 4 years. Then you do another one. Then by the time you grow, it will not be one job in 2 years. It will not get to a point, you will not do one job in 16 months. So it was just like that.
I don't see the
So
reason why you wanted to do makeup.
a lot of things. No, that was a decision I made for something. Maybe I will explain later. Then I met Mama when we did help me God now. Which project? The first project we did. Okay, she was an executive producer of a particular project with some other partners. I was on that set as PA to the director.
Wow.
Then I was on that set as PA to the director, where I didn't know they chased me from the hotel, but no problem. Mama, you know, no. Then after that, the next time we met was Golden Fire. Doris I did the project. She acted as a mother. I met Chimona God's wife. Then I was the continuity person. That was the second time we met. Then after that, and she called me. And she was like, she wants to do a project of her own. Fortune, Casey was the director of photography of that project. Then she was like, I need a prop person and I need a continuity person. I said, I can do prop and continuity. But since you want continuity, there are less continuity people in Port Harcourt then. So I said I was going to be the continuity person of that project. Then I gave her a prop person. Okay. Then from there, the next time, she started calling me for her project. At the point, she became Mama. Then I met Eze Winner. Eze Winner is, a young man that is confused, that met another young man that is confused. So like his own confusion is more mature than my own confusion, right? Eze Winner was trying to discover himself. I met him. So when two blind people are on a journey, but this person can see small. But he worked. I'll call him a father. Yes, because when somebody is ignorant of what he's doing, but he's trying to make you comfortable. He's a winner, yes, I'll give him that credit. He played a role in my life that he may not have known that he did, right? And then in the process, I met one other person, Mark Angel. I met him, Mark Angel, before the Mark Angel. You don't understand that, I believe you. Your audience, I also don't understand. Then, now I'm not calling him now because he's a name. Today I am directing. On his birthday this year, I called him. The born of children's thing. So I called him and I said, I just want to say one thing, sir. I want to say thank you. Now, I am his production manager. There was a day he gathered all of us in his conference room and he was asking everybody, say, what do you want to become? This one was, I want to become a producer. What do you want to become? I say, this one I want to become an editor. What do you want to become? I want to become a cinematographer. What do you want to be? A lot of people are saying different things. Directors, they are plenty directors. Me, I wanted to become a director. So he asked what they want to become. I say, I want to be a hustler. We all laughed. I had my reasons for that. Yeah. And then he said something. He said, I want to become a storyteller. That's what he said. That he wants to become. He wants to become the greatest storyteller out of Africa. Then I was like, why do you want to become a storyteller when there are directors to become cinematographers? It was later. I think 1 year later, I got to understand what it means to be a storyteller. The industry is a story. Life is a story. Yeah. We have to tell the story. As a matter of fact, okay, recently a movie was trending, Straw, done by Tyler Perry. The beauty of the production is the story. So what are we doing here if we're not telling stories? As a cinematographer, as a makeup artist, as anything. That word or that phrase, I want to become a storyteller. He didn't say he wanted to become a director or a cinematographer or a makeup artist. He just wants to tell story. And for me, that is the ultimate. That's one of my greatest inspiration. He wants to tell stories. So this now took me back to where it all started. I want to change some narratives. You just want to say something, not just talk. Say things that people can relate with, will understand, and they will shift their mind. Like, that paradigm shift. I want people to experience what it means to see that this is black, this is black. At a point, you get to say that actually it's not black. Oh. If you open your eyes, it's black, but if you dim it a little, you see ash. So what is the true color? You discover. But I have to tell you by story. So when he said that, I said, man, now this is my inspiration. So I've had a lot of people that are modeling for me. But to say that somebody held me, say, come under me, serve as, the all training. Praise the Lord. I'm a product of a community of mentors.
Okay, that's a very nice one. Mistakes are bound to happen.
And then I made Jack Endurance. My man, sorry, you don't understand it. I'm going to put this on the podcast too. I will explain later. But mistakes. Thank you very much.
Right. Mistakes are bound to happen.
Of course.
Yeah, mistakes are bound to happen. And I'm asking, was there any moments? Okay, of course, there should be.
Of course.
We are all humans. So I just want you to give an instance of one mistake you made that nearly made you slip out of where you were going to, and how you tend to stand upright again.
All right. One mistake I made. Well, I have been able to condition my mind to the point where I don't regret. I try as much as possible not to, because things must definitely go wrong.
Okay.
Irrespective of how creative you are, how influential you are, how smart, how calculative you are. Just that if you are deliberate about certain things, things will not go grossly wrong. But be sure to know that things must. Unless you are dealing with just yourself. Even if you're dealing with yourself, one day you can just wake up by 7 and wake up by 15 minutes after 7. Something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
So things must always go wrong. But there was one that went wrong. I'm not regretting, but I wish I don't let it linger. At the point, I was expecting that things would play out the way I wanted to play out. That's my biggest mistake. I was hoping that, there's a thin line between intentions and actions. Sometimes your intentions could be pure.
Yeah.
But the next person would not see your intention. What they will see is your action. So you could have this big vision of I want to become a big man. Bro, you're not going to become any big man if you don't work. You have to deliberately put in the work. And that's why right now I need a joke. Give me any project, I can't have my shoulder. I say my life depends on it. That is the inspiration. Because at the point I was hoping that I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will come to me. I was just hoping that if I do 1 or 2 jobs, the 2 jobs will just blow. When they blow, I don't become big name. Not knowing that, bro, you have to put in the work for as much as it is required. You have to work until it works. If it's not working, you have to work. And then another thing, you have to also know that when it starts working, you now do more work. I didn't know this initially. I was thinking that I would just do 1 or 2 jobs and make I just hide. When the thing get to the point where I get big jobs and I start showing off myself. So I was just waiting for that time. I was waiting. And it got to a point where like, go wait, we're all old. I said, okay, so this is not the deal. You have to now start. I don't mind that. Even up till now, there are certain people. Let me say, one of the greatest directors in Nigeria, Kunle Afolayan, right? If they say Kunle work on do work of Port here, there are sets I visit, not because I want to work. I call them projects. Go and learn, watch, see how. Like right now, what I want to start handling big projects, those ones that's going to shake. You understand? So how will you do these things if you don't step out there, learn? So I was hoping that if I do 1 or 2, 3, 4 jobs, it will just click. I'll just become a big name. That was one mistake I made. I'm not regretting. I know the para for your head. Yeah, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, yes, but I don't regret and contented. I'm not just I wake up in the morning, chop breakfast. Whatever that is not coming, you can send me.
Now you know.
Yes, I know better.
Right. All right. What's 3 key message or advice you would give out to people out there?
Yeah.
Because for sure there are some persons out there which right now they are kind of a little bit of confused or even more very confused.
Yeah.
They are the edge and point of giving up.
No, don't give up now. I don't take concern me. Kidding.
What 3 key advice do you have?
Okay, 3 key advice. I will have to start generating the padlock for the key now. The first advice is this, but you are allowed to be confused. You are allowed to be scared. You are allowed, but you don't have a choice, which is allowed. It's your responsibility to be. In fact, if you are not scared for like 1 year, just look for one scary thing and put in your head and start feeling scared. What I'm trying to say in essence is that it will come. Trustlessly. I always tell people, unless there is an inheritance somewhere, unless somebody is holding you up to say, come under my wings, there are people that are learning and they are being paid. You go for a particular thing, I want to learn this thing. They just absorb you into the production house or anywhere, and then while they are teaching you, you are earning something. Yeah. Such people may not really get too confused because there is hope. But for you that wants to grow from the scratch rather to the top, getting confused, getting scared. I got depressed at a point. This story will come one fine day. I got depressed. I almost took my life. So if you think this ginger that you are saying right now, bro, I got to the point where to say the only thing I was scared of, I no feel pains. Let me don't take something and then I feel pains before I off. God forbid. If it was possible that I can just sleep and say one magical word, abracadabra, sleep and not wake up the phone, I've done that since. But you see now, me, I run from death, right? So you will definitely get to that point. So if you get to that point, don't think that it is the end of the road. It's just a bend, right? It's just a bend. And then the next thing, you have to be deliberate about what you're doing. Okay. You have to be very deliberate and conscious. There are a lot of people out there that does things because they just want to do it, because they feel others are doing it. You have to be deliberate. You have to be conscious. You have to be aware. This applies to you all and sundry. Are you an actor? You have to be very. They give you scripts. You don't know that. You don't even know what you're going to do on the set. Your own is just to read down. Cinematographer just want to press the record button. Actor just want to shout action. You have to be deliberate about the movements you make, the steps you take, the yes you say and the no you say. And most people think that being deliberate is about the things you want to do. You have to also be deliberate about the things you don't want to do. Because your actions and your inactions, they come in line together. They come together. Most people want to focus on, let me plan what I will do. People don't plan what they will not do. I finished work and I said I was going to rest. That me decided not to work, but I ended up going for a podcast. Amen. And then the last one, just know that this whole thing starts with passion. You become a professional in your field, and then profit can come. Most times you want to put profit before passion or before profession. You can't help it. You won't. You are not going to succeed, no matter how smart you are. It starts with passion, and that passion is the point where you have to pay the job before the job will start paying you. That point is the point where you learn. That's the point where you struggle. That's the point you cry. Cry. That's the point where you get confused. Then after that, by the time you know, children.
Yeah.
You cry, mommy, you expect the mommy to pacify you, to tell you sorry, and she's not telling you sorry. At a point on your own, you just shut up. They look for play and play. So when you shut up, when you are done nursing your injuries, all the disappointments and everything, you now get to the point where you now create a thick skin for the unfortunate circumstances that would happen, right? After that, you know that, okay, this is what it is. You start learning something. Because they're not going to give you your first 1 million naira if you're not a professional.
Oh.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
You just keep earning 5K or 7K until you become a pro. So if you become a pro, then the last phase is the business part of it. If you like do that on that concern, that's a business. You can discover your business by yourself.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. Thank you for the advice as well. And to you all out there, Mr. Black Ginger, he's mentioned 3 things which I want you all to go home with. He mentioned the passion. He mentioned from passion, it leads to professionalism. From that, it leads to profit. Oh, yeah. And these 3 things, they actually have to go in line. It actually has to be the passion first, then the professionalism second, and then the profit. Because you can't maneuver the profits. You can't maneuver profit first, passion. No, it has to do passion, professionalism, and profit. And from me, I'm saying that to everyone out there, you actually have to be consistent. I will keep on hitting on it. I do tell my friends and people around me, be consistent, whether it's working, even if it's working, it's not working. Just be sure that what you are doing is actually right and accurate. So be consistent. If it's working, keep on doing it. If it's not working, keep on doing it. And I promise you that one day it will actually pay off. It will actually pay off. Yes. And if this actually blessed you, if our talk for today actually blessed you, don't forget to share it with someone. There are persons out there that actually needs to hear this. There are some persons out there that have fallen off, they've given up, but please do share it out with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a review on our comment section. Until next time, I remain your favorite host, Ambassador Ebere Florence from DURA'S Voice Podcast. See you. Bye.